the big screen here at center ice. And yeah, it's a night for people to think about family, needs, support. It is everywhere. It's a dirty disease, and one day, hopefully, we can get it much more under control.
Justin Tokarski going back-to-back. Alex Nedeljkovic for the Red Wings, our Southeast Michigan Ford dealer goaltenders. The Red Wings will start with Michael Rasmussen in the middle for Vlad Namestnikov and Adam Ernie. On the back end, Gordon Osterley along with Moritz Seider lifts a high one back into the Buffalo zone. Henry Yokoharu, number 10, back to pick it up, the 22-year-old. He just returned this week after being out since the season opened. Namestnikov moves up to hold it in. Back at center here for Seider. Across for Osterley. Osterley sends it in. First back, Jacob Bryson. Good skating defenseman, number 78 for Buffalo. Sabres won at home last night over Montreal by a count of 4-1. Buffalo started the season so well, then Craig Anderson, their 40-year-old netminder, was injured, and they've struggled since. They stopped a 4-game losing streak last night as Larkin circles the goal. Larkin the slot for Bertuzzi, the shot! That came oh so close, and that'll be not held in behind the net as Tokarski thought he had a hold of it. Bertuzzi over to pick it up, went back to the line for Hronek, and Tokarski will hold on to that. Face-off coming up.
Boy, if that's an example of how Buffalo plays defensively in front of their goaltender, Detroit's going to have a feast tonight with opportunities like that. Bertuzzi all alone in front of the net, set up by Larkin. Well, the Sabres will have to do a lot better than that if they expect to stay in this hockey game for any length of time. Look at that, 4 of them on the one side of the ice. Actually 3 Red Wings with defenseman Hronek up there in front of the net sniffing around.
Tokarski with a good blocker stop. Rasmus Asplund gets it in deep. Mark Stahl returning to the Red Wings lineup tonight, as he'd missed the past 3 with illness, non-COVID. Giovanni Smith put the body on. Smith out there with Suter and Fabry. As Giovanni Smith, as Mick spoke of off the top tonight, taking the place of Zadina on that line. Nedeljkovic with the save there. Moved by Lindstrom. Getting a stick on that puck in the corner. Got help there from Suter, then grabbed by Anders Bjork, the former Boston Bruin. The Red Wings will be in Boston on Tuesday. This game is big for Detroit, holding down the final playoff spot in the Atlantic, but Boston with games in hand and a better win percentage, so a win tonight imperative for Detroit before going into Boston. Lindstrom able to get one for Pius Suter. Buffalo in the midst of a line change. Tipped by Fabry from his side of center, but negated there by Tokarski, who plays it off to an open wing. The Sabres couldn't catch up to it, as John Hayden couldn't get there. Hayden pushes Leddy to the end boards. He got support, and it came off the boards and back to the line. Pressured Zadina did. Zadina was all over that puck on the far boards. Back up through the middle for Vinny Hinostroza. Nedeljkovic couldn't hold it. Hinostroza gets it back to the point. Yokoharu feeds it across. Yokoharu has it again, watched up high by Gagne. Brownie able to be on that puck. Brownie staying in the lineup. Tovoleno unable to go. Picked up here by Hayden. He'll left a high one to center. On it is Dylan Larkin. Larkin through the middle. Into the Buffalo zone. Drop back for Raymond. Backing up his Seider on the far side. Raymond coming back into the zone though for Kyle Oposo with a shot that gets tipped off a Red Wing stick and up and out of play. A milestone night tonight for number 92 of the Red Wings. Vlad Namestnikov, his 500th career game and 2 goals shy of 100 for his career. Slava Kozlov's nephew, grew up basically in the Detroit area.
Pretty good stuff, 500 games in this league. you know what? It'd be an interesting question to ask some folks. Is it easier to play 500 today than it was 15 years ago? I think for me the answer is no, it's tougher because this league's getting younger by the day, and the lifespan of an NHL player is less than 5 years now.
Yeah, 3 to 5 years.
Right?
Yeah. On the wing for Bertuzzi.
I guess the point is, Ken, you got to be doing something right to play 500 games.
Going back to get it is Osterley. Made back by Dylan Cousins was on him. Here's Bertuzzi trying to bust his way through. Grabbed by Victor Olofsson. Olofsson missed 8 games, just came back this week to the Sabres lineup. He'll be a force in their power play if he gets the chance. Olofsson already has 5 goals in just 12 games played this season. On the wing for Tage Thompson, and that is offside. And big young players, Mick, and making his way. Our Chevy's strongest player of the game, Lucas Raymond. Fewest games to 20 career points prior to their 20th birthday for active skaters. I'd say he's in some pretty darn good company.
I guess so. My goodness. Wow.
Lucas Raymond, who leads all rookie categories, including shots, with 49 coming into the game tonight. 11 points the past 11 games for number 23. Nemesnikov stayed with it, got help there from Rasmussen. Able to tie up Tage Thompson, got support from Nemesnikov across for Adam Erne, who had the game-winning goal against St. Louis. Behind the net for Nemesnikov, gets taken out by Rasmus Dahlin, the first overall pick in 2019. The 21-year-old, number 26 in white. Thompson, a big center trying to get it for Buffalo, number 72. Here it comes for Leddy. Dropped it back. There's a shot toward the goal again from Erne. Hronek at the line. That's tipped in front. Nemesnikov got a piece of that. Dahlin for Buffalo will clear it. It bounces over the stick, but they say no icing. Dean Morton and Furman South, the referees, working the game tonight. Tipped by Fabry from across the Sabres side of center. Jacob Bryson played it for Buffalo. Coming over was Suter to help intercept. Bryson for Hokoharu. Did he ever get hit hard?
Did he ever? Smith.
By who would you think?
Good clean hit too.
Bryson not big at just 5'9".
He got every bit of that 5'9".
But Smith didn't get that puck out as it goes back into the corner. Buffalo on it. Into the slot. Couldn't connect there with Anders Bjork. Sabres regroup in their own zone. Robert Haig getting one ahead for Colin Miller, who had 5 shots last night against Montreal. Did Colin Miller, the defenseman, tied for the team lead with 9 helpers. Seider stumbled a little bit, just caught the back of his skate. The Sabres did, forcing him to go down. Here comes Zadina, and he'll turn back in his own zone and giving it for Seider. Here's Zadina, cuts back to the middle. Oh, and a toe save there by Tokarski as this game remains goalless.
And prayers out to the families of the Illich family and the Bayoff family. Carl Bayoff passed away the other night in his sleep at home with family and friends around. Carl, of course, is the older brother of our owner, Red Wing owner, Marian Illich. And what a character Carl was. Remember Kenny down at the Joe, that big leather jacket, Red Wing pressed all over it, championship jacket. He was a beauty. He's going to be missed for sure, but to the families of the Illiches and the Bayoffs, our thoughts are with you guys. And I'm sure now in the next few days you'll be reminiscing about the smiles that he had right there in that picture and all the good things that came to Carl and family over the years. He was a wonderful man, and we love you, buddy.
Draw controlled Osterley put it in back of the net. Zadina tracking back on Hayden. Osterley left it there for Seider. Seider felt pressure from behind, and Cody Eakin took it away from him. Strong defensive player for Buffalo, number 20. But then Zadina able to knock that puck away. Certainly that's what the Red Wings want from Zadina. Be hard on the pucks, hard on the back check. In the midst of a change now as he goes off. Larkin was looking for that puck. It didn't come his way. Out there along with Raymond. Gagne goes off. Bertuzzi comes on. Deline for Buffalo. Moves that puck up the middle for Dylan Cousins, who has taken one pick after Mo Seider in that draft. Came free there as Bertuzzi couldn't clear. Leddy got a piece of it there to cover up in front is Raymond. Leaves it there for Larkin.
That pass.
For Bertuzzi. Back for Dylan Larkin. And the Sabres able to intercept through the middle. Kyle Oposo up with Cousins. Good hold at the Red Wing line there to intercept by Hronek. Buffalo will take over. Hronek active stick again. And then a block. Gets it to Larkin. Larkin spins back to try to get some room from Oposo as Buffalo and Detroit in the midst of a change.
Yeah, I like that. You don't just throw the puck in and give it away to them. Go get it back to your defenseman. Nice calm play. Get your line changed and then keep her going.
Turnover inside the Sabres zone. Detroit forced that. Right in front of Tokarski. Kicked their way. Mestikov circling the net. And went off Ernie's skate. Couldn't get a stick on it. Rasmussen over to pick it up. Ernie, quick shot. Saved by Tokarski.
Good net front presence there by this line. Two pretty good sized guys, and Rasmussen and Adam Ernie going to the front of the net. And Buffalo may have dodged a bullet there, boy. A lot of feet, pucks and feet. Tokarski found a way to that left pad to kick it out of trouble for the time being anyway.
Suter, Smith, and Fabry, the Guelph Storm line out there for the Red Wings. They all played in the OHL together. Not necessarily as a threesome, but
same team. That organization, boy, what a...
And add Bertuzzi to that.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Saved by Nedeljkovic off a shot from Zemgus Girgensons. The Buffalo Sabres under Don Granato and a fine coach, and a former head coach of the U.S. National Team Development Program, and a coach the players will tell you they love to play for. Look how Buffalo started when Craig Anderson, their 40-year-old netminder, who they said, you know, we need some veteran depth in goal. They signed Anderson, then he got hurt. Right around the time that Craig Anderson was hurt, look where Buffalo's record went. Goaltending maybe 70-80% of the game. If you don't have it, it's 100%.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope when you have to depend on your goaltending that much. Obviously, I don't know if they call it a rebuild in Buffalo or not, but they've been rebuilding for 10 years. And
well, they haven't made the playoffs. It's a rebuild.
Now that the Eichel thing is behind them, hopefully they can settle in and begin to get a rebuild going for their fan base.
It's a long time.
Yeah, for sure.
10 years in a playoff drought. And yes, they're probably looking for some veteran goaltending just to keep the composure of the team so it doesn't become too contagious, all the losing, which has already happened. But you want to be able to have a goaltender who can steal you some games when you're not at your best.
Or if you can't do that, at least keep you in games longer. Right. So you're more competitive and you get a better opportunity to learn. Your young players get to learn without trailing by 6-7 goals and having your heart taken out of you before it even gets going.
Well, Buffalo's allowed 5 or more goals in 8 of their last dozen games, and 4 in another. All losses. Recently, they beat Montreal, as mentioned last night, 4-1, Edmonton 3-2, and Pittsburgh 2-1 for the victories in that span. They are 8-10-2 on the season. And it goes for Osterley, around for Seider. 13 points for Seider. Leading rookie defenders. Leading all freshmen with time on ice at 22 minutes plus a night for number 53.
Nice
To Lucas Raymond.
Nice reverse by Seider.
On the wing here. Osterley gets taken out. Following up there was Bertuzzi. Letty is back. Rink-wide feed here for Thompson, who had 2 goals last night in the win over Montreal 4-1, giving Tage Thompson 10 on the season, a career high. Last season he had 8 goals in 38 games. He's got 10 already this year. He leads the Sabres, Tage Thompson in goals with 10 and points with 15.
Well, Hedman for the O'Reilly deal over to St. Louis, and he basically said, I want out of Buffalo at the time. Criticized for it, but you couldn't blame him. And boy, has he been something else, leading that team to a Stanley Cup. If it hadn't been for that deal, Thompson would still be a St. Louis Blue. No question about that. 26th overall draft pick, and first round, obviously.
But they may not have had a Stanley Cup. Just the
Right.
way that
O'Reilly
was so good.
Yeah.
And a Conn Smythe trophy to boot.
He came under a lot of fire, when he said, this thing in Buffalo is not working. He had a lot of guts, really, when you think about it, think back, to say what he said, and basically nobody liked him for it, but you know what? He was straightforward, honest. A lot to be said for that.
Yep.
You may not like it, but here it is. And boy, was he right.
Fabry couldn't get through. Here comes Hayden. Wearing the old number 15 of Jack Eichel. He wore 15 when he started in Buffalo. Eichel's another one who wanted out, although even wanting the disc replacement surgery, he said if the Sabres would have let him have it, he would have stayed in Buffalo. Perhaps.
Well, that just got way too toxic.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But
Suter, along with Giovanni Smith and Robbie Fabry. Moving up there was Seider. Sabres 2-on-2 the other way. Osterley on Hayden. It goes deep there for Hinostroza. Took a hard hit as Fabry knocked him down. And how happy was Fabry to get that empty netter against his team that drafted him, the St. Louis Blues. Also had an assist. Through the middle comes Dylan Cousins, the 7th overall pick in 19, goes wide with it. Oh, goal post. Oh, he had Nedeljkovic beat, but rang the iron.
Surprised him because he didn't stop skating. He let the puck go, and that's one of the things you can do with these goaltenders. They're not waiting for you to shoot if you're still got moving your feet.
Well, that must have been what you told Dylan Larkin, who's out there now, who praised you in our Red Wings Live pregame show in conversation with Trevor Thompson.
That was
very nice.
Quite nice.
Yeah.
Caught me off guard, that's for sure. But yeah. Well, he's got a diesel engine, and there's a reason he's the one that's pulling the trigger on this kind of stuff. So
good back check there by Bertuzzi, taking it away from Kyle Oposo. Raymond gets it. Wanted to get down the ice, but it went out of play. So a second past 6 to go, and a goalless first, nearly 1-0. But for that, Nedeljkovic got a piece of it too.
Who have lost 8 straight. Now the NHL has shut them down because of COVID protocol. 8 players and 3 staff members have tested positive, so they'll miss at least their next 2 games. Tomorrow night at MSG against the Rangers and Tuesday in Philadelphia. The next opportunity they would have to play at UBS Arena would come Thursday against the Sharks, but first they must have 3 days with no positive tests. So if that happens, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, no positive tests. They could practice on Wednesday and play the Sharks on Thursday. This is all relative to the Red Wings because they're supposed to play at UBS on Saturday, but to say that game is questionable would be true. Actually, they come here Saturday, guys. They come here.
Yes, they do, and you can bet, Trev, that they're going to try all they can to get that game at home on Thursday against San Jose, as that's offside, because you don't want to have to reschedule a team like San Jose coming all the way to the east to do that. So that's why they're canceling now against teams close that they can reschedule, including Philadelphia. You got San Jose at home Thursday. You think they'll play that one if they can, and then come to Detroit for Saturday.
That whole thing with these like Ottawa and now the Islanders, etc. last year, has got to be an absolute nightmare for the schedule people. And that's why last year, that's a nice thing, we said, you know what, there are a lot of people behind the scenes in the NHL, not Bill Datey, not Gary Bettman, but that never get seen and never get heard of. They did an unbelievable job.
Steve Hetzer-Petros.
Say that again?
Steve Hetzer-Petros.
Hetzer-Petros?
Yeah.
I mean, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And Steve and a whole lot of other people that work for the National Hockey League that go on unsung heroes, if you will. They did an unbelievable job.
They did.
Of putting this whole thing together. It's been incredible, and they continue to do so.
Yeah, they do.
Way to go, gang. Keep her going. It ain't easy.
Knocked away there by Tokarski. Fabry to Stahl. As Dan Renouf out of the lineup with Stahl returning, and shot in but held by Tokarski. And now a message from the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Returning AZ Plan trade-in lessees can lease a 2021 F-150 for only $249 a month for 24 months. Only at your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers.
Offensive zone face-off for the Red Wings, and certainly in the defensive zone we showed you last game. They want improvement, and they're working hard at it every day in practice. After games, looking at tape, and Carter Rowney's a key guy there because they lost Mitchell Stevens for some time until, well, who knows, maybe March. And if there's 3 weeks off for the Olympics in February, if they get there. So a guy like Rowney is going to be key, Mick, in the face-off spot. And he's only at 22% this year. For his career, he's just under 49%. Just over 49% for his career. So right-hand guy, defensive zone, you got to be better.
Okay, I got an idea. I got an idea.
Yeah.
Let's get Mr. Draper in here. He's a big part of this hockey club and development for kids now, and he was a great face-off man. Specialty. We got to get specialty guys teaching these kids, and Draper would be a good one for that. He was a really good face-off man, not overly big, but he knew how to cheat and get away with it. And he was very good in his time.
So what do you want? Drapes teaching these guys or great picks in the draft? I mean, he's director of amateur scouting here.
Well, both.
He's on line one saying, Mick, I need more work.
Well, I mean, there's a bit of an emergency, so get over here. Well, come on.
They work every day at practice and after practice and watching tape, so they're trying. It's just going to take some time. As does the rebuild. Take some time.
Well, time is the key. When you win face-off, you got the kind of time you want.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you're on your heels tracking time, and that's no good.
Surprisingly, Detroit's been really good in the offensive zone.
Right.
Just not in the defensive
It's
zone.
the defensive zone that will drive you nuts. And scoring chances come from it, you know.
Larkin able to get that. Look at that smooth little pass there, and then gets it back. Bertuzzi gives it to him. Back to Bertuzzi across to Raymond. Wow. Bertuzzi back of the net. Dylan Larkin looking for it right from their own zone. What a play.
That's good teamwork right there, and that's why that's the best line of the team and on a lot of teams right now.
Raymond couldn't get through.
There haven't been many passes that Raymond has gotten this year that have handcuffed him like that one did.
Raymond with 11 points the past 11 games. Thompson just stays on side. Behind the net, grabbed there by Rasmus Asplund for Dahlin. Pesek on this side. Dahlin with a good move to hold the line. Feathered it through to Asplund. Then goes across with it. Olesen played it, gets it back. Olesen now to Dahlin. Top of the right circle. Moves right into the slot. Right in! And a save made there by Nedeljkovic.
Best chance for Buffalo in this game with 3 minutes left.
There's another shot. Nedeljkovic stopped that. First time this season a Red Wing netminder has started 3 straight. That's Nedeljkovic, who got the call again tonight. He was an overtime winner in Buffalo earlier this month. Thanks to Moritz Seider's first career goal that came in overtime. Bryce had started back-to-back kick off the season. And Nedeljkovic had gone back-to-back and makes a 3rd straight start here tonight, as they'd alternated for 17 consecutive games. Going with the hot hand lately. He was really good in Arizona, but for the late comeback by the Coyotes and then winning in extra time. And was so good in getting the Red Wings a victory against St. Louis, who had wonderful chances, but marvelous saves stopped them. Oh, and Rasmussen took that one on a shot from Stahl that got through to Tokarski off Rasmussen.
I wonder if he got hit with the shot can or he got a slash in the ankle. We'll have to see here, and that's why one of his teammates
Could have been a slash.
I have a feeling he got hacked.
Yeah.
You talk about a BC two-hander right across the ankle. Where is it? Let's have a look. Oh my God. Are you serious? Oh yeah. It wasn't the ankle, the back of the knee. And there is no protection there. We'll be back. One penalty for each team here, not just to Rasmussen, as Haig in front gets cross-checked in the back by Rasmussen right there. No question about that call. They're trying to cut down on that kind of stuff. They call it interference with the cross-check. And then look at this. There's a BC two-hander for sure on Haig, right over the back of the shoulder. Jeez, one-hand or not, right on the back of the knee. And that sends Rasmussen to the dressing room. Rowney serves the penalty. So 4-on-4 we go with 2:11 to go in period number 1.
Dylan Larkin leading the Red Wings with 10 goals. He's got goals in 6 of his past 8 games. They control the draw. Hronek up high, and Tokarski making back-to-back starts on consecutive nights for the Buffalo Sabres. He was strong early this season. In his previous 2 starts before last night, he didn't finish.
An interesting stop that he just made there, and we'll get another angle and look at it later on. He never moved, and I'm wondering if the top of that net was open and Hronek just couldn't or didn't hit it. He was down on his knees, never moved when that shot hit him.
Jokiharju gets it in, and Delkovich, fanned on it, and he usually plays that puck so well. But Leddy was there for Tyler Bertuzzi. 9 goals for Tyler, 8 games without one. He's way overdue. That was out of his reach. Back to retrieve it is Dylan Larkin. 9 points the past 6 games for Dylan. Would have been offside had he played it. Mark Pysyk. First pick by Buffalo in 2010. Dahlin. Olofsson. Leaves for Rasmus Dahlin with a little fake there. Back in for Victor Olofsson. Leaves it for Thompson. Stick in the lane by Zadina, not allowing him a shot. There's going to be a penalty here to Delkovich.
Boy,
for interference.
So, sets up an interesting scenario. Still 52 seconds left on the coincidental minors, and the Buffalo Sabres look like they're going to go to a...
Buffalo, number 26,
Buffalo.
has 2 minutes.
Oh my.
Goaltender interference.
Wow. Reverse. Okay. And that's Rasmus Dahlin. Well, he sure did run into Nedeljkovic. He was helped a little bit. I don't know about that call. It could have probably been let go, but you know what? That's what they're calling these days, and Ned was going to take anything he could get on a bump like that. So Detroit goes to 4-on-3. They're 2 big guys. Larkin and Bertuzzi just came off. We got 1:03 in the period. They win the draw.
Bell Tire power play as Suter won that draw for Hronek. Now to Fabry, back for Hronek. Zadina's got it. Great chance for Zadina here. Feel good about himself.
He's got to get in the right position.
Hronek with a shot got blocked. Hronek has to come back again. Zadina to Fabry. For Zadina, shot and a save made by a sliding Tokarski. Pysyk. Zadina digging for it there along with Suter. Came to the middle and then cleared.
It's a great job by Buffalo to kill all that time.
So Nedeljkovic left it there, bringing it ahead. Fabry. Larkin out there along with Bertuzzi. Hronek stays. Off the skate. 2 out of the box. 5-on-4 power play knocked down by Hronek. Intercepted here by Buffalo at a shorthanded goal last night against Montreal. As the first period comes to a close without a goal. One goal post hit, but off a save by Nedeljkovic on the way in.
Cancer night. Personally, I fight for mom and dad. Abby fights for Brandon. And certainly as the Senior Development Director of the American Cancer Society, Abby Samuels knows that we all fight for somebody. And Abby, here tonight, what does Hockey Fights Cancer mean to the American Cancer Society, and how important is it that the NHL is involved?
Thank you, Trevor. I'm so grateful you asked. Hockey Fights Cancer was an initiative started in 1998, and since then, NHL teams across the United States have raised greater than $29 million for the American Cancer Society, which is so vital and important. And here in Detroit, the Detroit Red Wings have raised greater than 100,000 of those dollars.
I know that you guys are always trying to reach out to special groups who are suffering from cancer, and I know it's pediatric cancer awareness right now. How are you guys at the American Cancer Society pushing that?
I'm so glad you asked that as well. So currently, the American Cancer Society has 46 research grants that are active, totaling greater than $27 million in the United States for pediatric cancer research specifically.
And as far as that goes here, I know you've got some personal stories, and Brandon is someone that you fight for. Tell Brandon's story.
Thank you so much. So Brandon is actually from Detroit. His family still lives here, and he was diagnosed greater than 6 years ago, and unfortunately this summer, Brandon lost his battle to pediatric cancer. And while research and treatment prolonged his life much further than doctors originally anticipated, he still lost his battle, which is why nights like tonight are so important, and we couldn't do it without the work of Hockey Fights Cancer and the Detroit Red Wings.
And we'll continue to fight for everyone we fight for who's battling against cancer. Second period between the Sabres and the Red Wings continues here at Little Caesars Arena.
Hey Red Wings fans, my name is Kyle Peterson, and I'm from Plymouth, Michigan. I'm a leukemia cancer survivor of 11 years. Let's get this period started.
Beautiful, Kyle. Thank you.
Well, one of the things that when you go down that road, if you're fortunate, like I have been, I guess, is that the diagnosis of cancer does not have to be a death sentence. You can live with it. You can beat it. We all don't. But you know what? The hope is there that as research continues to go on, that more and more people can live with cancer or put it behind them. Like that young man. 11 years, I thought he said. Good for him.
And that's why this initiative is so important. As the Red Wings have 35 seconds to go on their power play here to start the middle stanza. Raymond brings it around for Bertuzzi, but over his stick. Mo Seider goes back to get it. Tied for third in rookie points. Here's Raymond across, and Bertuzzi, and that was stopped by Tokarski, and a good save.
It'll be his best of the night.
Sabres shorthanded. Hayden letting it around Seider. Played back by Raymond. Red Wings 0 for 1 on their power play now. And that puck is out of play. Here's a look at the last chance here, Mick.
Bill Seider, as he does so often, the big long pass, he's pretty alert to where he needs to go for it. It was Fabry and Lucas Raymond. And, you know, Tokarski did a nice job to read that play and come across and make a nice stop on Bertuzzi to keep this game scoreless. Took a little long to get there, and that gave him that chance to get there and get that pad down.
Lead pass, it just went off Thompson. But you gotta love the snap of the pass from Raymond and his vision. Here's
Yeah, I mean,
Thompson.
it's part of what he brought here. He just gets it, and that's one of the reasons.
Down low is Dahlin. It goes off his skate. In front, knocked away by Leddy. Olesen across. No one there for Buffalo. Ernie. Cross, and a hit a leg on a Rasmussen attempt. Colin Miller. Fired from Vegas for a couple of draft picks. A lead pass here to Jeff Skinner. Fourth season with Buffalo. He had 3 30-goal seasons with Carolina. Got a long-term deal with the Sabres after a great year with them. Trying to recapture that. That shot hit a leg.
Yeah, they might look back on that signing and go, maybe, you know.
Well, I think they have.
Yeah.
But he's having a better start to this year, Jeff Skinner, with 5 goals and 12 points, a couple of 2-goal games. Rowney trying to get through. Joe Veleno out for a little bit here. Some more time for Carter Rowney. Sabres clear the zone and send it back in. Nedeljkovic couldn't stop it back there. Lindstrom fires around. Stahl. Back for Gustav Lindstrom. Wearing the old number 28 of Reed Larson. Could he ever shoot the puck?
He could.
Asplund with a shot that'll be gloved and held by Alex Nedeljkovic. A message now from Cure Auto Insurance.
Hey, Kate, being the new kid on the block in Michigan, do you think you can make an impact right away?
Sure, why not? I know someone else who has.
Who?
Cure Auto Insurance.
Victor Olofsson, 53 games last season at 13 goals and 32 points. This is just his 5th game back. He missed 8 this season. And a real good shot on the power play for Buffalo for a 7th-round pick. Pretty good. 20-goal scorer and 42 points a couple of seasons ago. This will be icing against Detroit.
Well, I'm just thinking that, you know, we're settling into the second period very nicely here. No score in the game. The Sabres are playing 3 games in 4 nights. Red Wings are only their 2nd in a week. So it's time, I think, for Detroit to take this game over and not leave it to chance, because the longer you allow Buffalo to hang in there, the more you're rolling the dice. And they can't afford to do that. This is a very critical game for the Red Wings, sitting in the position that they are and going into Boston on Tuesday. They must win this game tonight.
Tokarski couldn't play that really well because he was worried about playing that outside the trapezoid behind the icing line. Larkin turns. Seider moves it. In by Osterlin.
Seider just said, here, Dylan, give me that puck.
You may see some of that maybe next year or the year after. Who knows when Simon Edmondson gets here.
Yeah.
Perhaps even more on the offensive side. And confident. Playing really well. Here's Leddy in front. Bertuzzi, save made. Larkin rebound. Oh, and down Tokarski.
What did that hit? Whoa.
Bjork couldn't get it in. The former Boston Bruin came from Boston in the Taylor Hall deal. Sabres also got a 2nd-round pick for number 96, who has it now. Spent 4 seasons with the Bruins. That's stopped by Nedeljkovic and out of play off the attempt from Zemgus Girgensson.
Purposely redirected by Nedeljkovic to stop play. Nicely done. This is a pretty good save on a redirect. What did this one hit? Did it hit Bertuzzi's skate? Oh my goodness, yeah. Right on the back of Bertuzzi's foot was Larkin. Set up by Leddy. And 2 Buffalo guys all over top of number 59, and Larkin going, you got to be kidding me. The way he's been going, can't believe that didn't go in.
Dillon's already passed his total of last season in goals with 10 now.
Ouch.
Way comes Namestnikov.
Shoot it. Oh, jeez. He missed the net.
Intercepted here by Oposo. Up along with Dylan Cousins. Dropped one back in for Cousins. And it's in the back of the net. Sabres worked that beautifully.
Well, they sure did. And that came right on the heels of an absolute AAA scoring chance by Namestnikov right here. Where does he go? Oh my goodness, he just sailed it over top of the net.
It may have rolled on him just a bit, Mick. I don't think it was sitting flat when he shot it.
Great execution by Buffalo. Give them credit for that. But my goodness gracious, at least you got to get a shot on goal. No chance for your goaltender on a play like that, and the Sabres open the scoring.
And Brett Murray set that up. Number 57, playing in his 5th game, just his 3rd this season, getting his first point as he set up Cousins for a tap-in. So Brett Murray and Oposo set up Dylan Cousins at 5:05. 1-0 Buffalo. You may remember in the Red Wings overtime win, shrugged aside there by Tokarski in Buffalo. The Sabres led in that game 3-1.
Right.
6 minutes into the 3rd when Tyler Bertuzzi took over the game.
It seemed to be over. That's right.
And the Red Wings won with Bertuzzi having that big night. 2 goals, 2 assists. Seider in the overtime winner. Seider now gets checked. Got support. Sabres pick it up. Eakin. Backhand. Yokoharu. Stopped by Nedeljkovic.
Red Wings need somebody to take control here. They need a Larkin type shift, and let's see if he can provide that right now as he comes on the ice. Like Bertuzzi did in Buffalo.
Big hit there by Lindstrom. Bertuzzi in a battle with Zemgus Girgensons. On the wing for Raymond. Lifts a high one for Bertuzzi. Miller back for Buffalo. No icing here as Lidstrom goes back on defense with Stahl. Tough one for Lindstrom. Couldn't find it cleanly. Stahl protected that puck. Larkin put it up the middle and out the center. Robert Hagon came from Philadelphia with a first last year and a second in 2023 for Rasmus Ristolainen. This will come back as an icing against the Sabres.
Sorry, go ahead.
The Black Friday BOGO ticket offer has been extended through Cyber Monday at midnight. Buy 1 ticket, get 1 ticket free for all remaining home games. Score seats now at DetroitRedWings.com/BOGO.
Wasted shift for Larkin and Bertuzzi and Raymond. They were pretty much hemmed in their own zone. Didn't get anything to go offensively at all. There's a high stick. Somebody. Suter goes down and goes to the bench.
Cousins is in. And a save there by Nedeljkovic. And a high-scoring center with the Lethbridge Hurricanes, who has the goal here tonight. 1-0 Buffalo.
Bell time.
Here's exactly what he did. Beautiful setup on that one, and wasted no time in going to the front of the net. Bang! In the back of the net. And here he comes. Look at that move. Oh my gosh. He undressed the defenseman right there and tied the game. And that sent that maybe to overtime, and that's where Seider did what he did for his first goal to win the game 4-3 for Detroit.
2 goals in 90 seconds in that game for Bertuzzi.
And the Red Wings, as I said, need somebody tonight, right now. This will be another icing to get her going.
Buffalo just 11 shots on goal. They're near the bottom of the league in shots on goal per game.
Well, they're keeping this thing really, really ugly is what they're doing. 3 games in 4 nights. They're not opening it up, and Detroit's going to have to take it on themselves to open that, get the can opener and open this thing up themselves.
Rasmus Dahlin wide of the net. Sabres allowed a season-high 47 shots against Boston Wednesday in a 5-1 loss. Again, they played last night and beat Montreal at home, did Buffalo. So they traveled here from the Queen City after that game. Cousins left it there for Murray. Cousins dropped it off to Oposo. Backdoor try. Comes back for Bryson. Left there on the near wall. His Cousins picked it up for Henry Okuharu. Okuharu played 38 games with Chicago, whom he was drafted by in the late first round of 2017. Acquired from Chicago for Alex Nylander, Williams' brother. Alex is playing in Rockford and the Hawks American Hockey League system. And now time for our Discover matchup. And basically, high quality shot attempts. The average shot the Wings take is more dangerous than every other team except the Maple Leafs. Meanwhile, the Sabres are kept more to the outside. And shots are the least dangerous in the league. The Leafs have scored 61 goals. The Red Wings right behind them with 58. And Detroit playing one fewer game than the Maple Leafs. Problem is Detroit has given up a lot more goals.
Boy, Detroit's on Toronto's on a roll right now on that West Coast trip.
Aren't they?
They sure are.
Beat San Jose. They're in Anaheim tonight. There it is right in front of the net. And Nedeljkovic couldn't hold it. Skinner's on it. Intercepted by Leddy. Raymond on Dahlin. And a break here. Larkin with Bertuzzi. Catching up Hronek. Bertuzzi found a hole. Look out. Heavy into the boards. Puck right beside him. Thompson taken away by Dylan Larkin. From Tage Thompson. Bertuzzi seems okay. Heads to the front of the net. There's a shot. Hit Raymond. Knocked down. Dahlin sliding. Moved ahead here for Olofsson.
Well, Bertuzzi's shaken up. There's no question about that. Hopefully not too seriously. That was a heavy collision with the boards. You see, that was a broken play again, and Larkin trying to get that puck across him. It was on the fly, trying to one-time it.
Miller. Flipped it ahead. Pressure coming back from Rowney. Carter Rowney at center. He has it. On the wing for Gagne. Across for Lindstrom. Back in front of the net. And they score! Buffalo will look to challenge on this, but the Red Wings for now have tied the game 1-1 midway through.
Well, there was a major traffic jam in the crease as Don Granato looks at his replay behind the bench. He'll be talking to his people in the dressing room looking at this. Was there goalie interference enough to challenge or not? Rowney goes to the front. There's the shot. Okay, we'll have to look at this a couple of times. Goaltender's down. He kicks it in with his left pad, his left skate. I don't think they're challenging this one, and it's a 1-1 game. I don't know who's going to get it. Was it Rowney or was it Zadina? Certainly Zadina. No offense, Rowney.
Yeah.
Zadina could really use it. Wish we all could use it, but
well, just one goal, previous 12 for Zadina 4 games ago. He played only .857 against St. Louis.
It's not like he hasn't had the chances.
No. There's Rowney again. Lindstrom, wrister, walkered away by Tokarski. Suter off the bench. Couple of whacks at the puck, kept it in. Hayden for Buffalo moves it ahead. Skate to stick there for Eakin. Couldn't get through. Lindstrom with it.
Well, let's see if this can give Detroit some momentum here with still half a period and half a game to play. But this is a game that can put you to sleep if you're not careful. And that's exactly what Buffalo's trying to do to Detroit. So they said they've got to manufacture the enthusiasm the Red Wings do by themselves.
Here's Fabry in front.
The second period. Zadina's fourth of the season unassisted. 9:56 second period.
Right now it's Zadina unassisted. But remember the other night before we left, Zadina had an assist after the game. They took it away a second time and gave it to Leddy. So who knows? There's a shot by Seider. Puck losing it. They score! Seider!
Now, another one they're going to probably look at maybe a little more seriously. The goaltender right away. There go them at the bench, see? He's screaming at big Giovanni Smith, 6'2", 220, standing right in front of him. So, you be the ref. He's outside the, well, he's in the crease now.
But battling for space with Dahlin. Did Dahlin keep him there?
Well, I don't know on this
Did
one.
Dahlin push him there?
Referee's asking the bench. and they're trying to make a decision. Are we challenging or not? They're still trying to figure it out with their people down, their video coaches. They're looking. There's no.
Well, you see, Giovanni wasn't initial bump. He was outside the crease.
Right.
When he first skated there, and then Dahlin blocked him. Yep. So Suter, to stop the bleeding in the nose.
So they did, wait a minute, they did.
Now Dean Morton's over there now talking to Don Granato.
I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, not enough.
Matty Ellis there with him. Matty Ellis, remember Matty Ellis, the Red Wings?
Yeah. Not enough to challenge and possibly lose and put yourself shorthanded and the game's over if the team scores.
2 goals, 119 apart. There they go again. Bertuzzi to the net. Boy, Tokarski's going to be worn out. Getting bumped a lot. Raymond moves up. So the Red Wings have quickly erased a 1-0 deficit. They've given it to Suter with no assist at 11:15. So they may add some of those later. We'll see. Too far by Larkin, and he'll come back as an icing.
Trying to get some excitement in this building anyway. Snyder ripped the shot, and he'll get an assist. And Suter just got himself some garbage laying around the front of the net, basically, with bodies and feet everywhere. So.
Off the draw, coming away with it is Larkin. Then got checked back of the goal as Buffalo comes up with that puck. Pesek at the right point. Hronek got a stick on it. Off the glove of Raymond, out to center. Bertuzzi couldn't come up with it. Gotta love watching Tyler play. Whether 2 hands or 1 hand on the stick, he makes something happen.
Well, there's always something going on around him.
Yeah, and if he, like Thomas Holmstrom, if he didn't go to the bench with snow in his pants, he didn't have a shift. Dahlin. And Mesnikov played it in. Buffalo gets it out. Quick little move there by Osterley to get into the Sabres zone. It'll be called in the offside.
An almost dangerous move because he was the last guy back too. So anyway, 7:17 to go in the second period. Finally got some life in this post-Thanksgiving Saturday night crowd. Red Wings take the 2-1 lead.
All right, Mick, let's look.
Well, we're thinking this puck was tipped here by Zadina.
No, you know what, Mick?
But
that may be Lindstrom's goal.
It might have hit the goaltender's stick.
And or Rowney just before it got over the line.
Right.
And here's the other one for Suter.
The bottom line is they had traffic to the front of the net, and the goaltender is kind of left hung out to dry. But we'll wait and see.
Lindstrom may have got that first one. I'm not so sure. That didn't hit the goaltender.
It hit the handle of his stick, not Zadina's stick.
And maybe Rowney before it got over the line. But again, we'll see. But either way, the Red Wings have 2 goals in 1:19.
That's what counts. Yep.
That's what counts. Yep. Hayden with a shot toward the goal. Hayden, who played with Chicago, New Jersey, and Arizona. Blocked by Zadina, who broke his stick. Nedeljkovic couldn't squeeze it, but a good save.
He was screened on it. That's why he couldn't squeeze it, Ken.
Now, you'd hope it would be Zadina's goal, actually, because it is his birthday today.
Pretty good reason.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell on that replay whether he touched it or not. But
Zadina out there. Nedeljkovic with the save. Seider took his man out, gets the puck, very calmly throws it around for Michael Rasmussen. Sliding in was Cousins. Good play there by Rasmussen. Getting it ahead for Osterley. Then the return pass. And here's Ernie. His shot off a Sabre stick and out of play. Now a message from FanDuel Sportsbook.
Hey fans, right now you can live bet on the game on the FanDuel Sportsbook. Head over to FanDuel now.
Alex Nedeljkovic, starting his 12th game, owns a save percentage above .900 in 82% of his starts. Only the Leafs' Jack Campbell has a better mark among goalies who started at least 11 games, as Tokarski holds on to that. And his save percentage for Alex Nedeljkovic of .917 is 15th in the NHL among goalies who started at least 11 games. He's been terrific. Red Wings with a lead by 1. Seasons could have 3 first-round picks next year. Some are top 10 protected. So let's look at their recent first-round picks and their current team. And Owen Power, what a season the Wolverines are having. And he's showing why he was the first overall pick. Jack Quinn, Dylan Cousins, Casey Middlestat close to returning for Buffalo, skating with them, and they could certainly use him. Alex Nylander's been moved, as mentioned. So is Jack Eichel. So is Sam Reinhart. All part of their first-round picks. Ristolainen's been moved on. But again, I guess that's building through the draft in their rebuild now, because the picks that they've acquired, they're going to draft now for those they
number
moved.
one, and number 2. 3 top 2 choices in 6 years since 2015. Pretty amazing.
And you think when the Red Wings haven't won the lottery, how well they've done at least so far, with Seider at 6 and Raymond at 4. They've just had the puck between one another right there. Make the play to Larkin. Larkin took a shot, and that's deflected out of play.
Well,
it's a long rebuild for Buffalo, Mick, and that playoff drought, as you spoke of, 10 consecutive seasons. Among those in pro sports, and the longest active droughts.
Thing is, when you've got the draft picks that they've gotten are good players. Eichel, Nolan, Middlestat, so on. I mean, but they got to have people around them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't build a really good competitive team just on draft picks.
Well, that's why they had Skinner and they had Oposo, and they thought those were the guys to build around them when they had Ryan O'Reilly, but didn't work out. Yes, it's a culture there that Detroit has, for the most part, been able to maintain the culture.
Well, that's the key. We've always talked about the original 6 Detroit Red Wings culture.
Yeah.
And even in a rebuild, boy,
maintain it.
If you lose it, it's really, really hard, if not impossible, to get it back. And that's the one thing since Larkin came here, almost 7 years ago now, that he's a big part of that.
And gets it there to Hronek across. Off the skate of Raymond. And covering up and gave it to Seider. Hronek had to delay there at the line for it to be onside, and it is. Bertuzzi, the Red Wings in the midst of a change. Suter goes into the corner to pick the pocket of Cody Eakin, and he did. And the glove came off and yet still stayed in it, as Tokarski was able to make the save.
Boy, I think everybody was surprised by this pass over to Raymond here a few moments ago. Larkin goes back to, is that Hronek, I think?
Yeah.
And I mean, he didn't, first of all, it wasn't in his wheelhouse, it was in his feet, but nonetheless, Hronek himself could have shot that puck and gone to the net.
Raymond with 11 points the past 11 games. His 12 assists leads Detroit. His 20 points leads Detroit. And leads all rookies. Seider's fallen to 3rd in rookie points, but 2nd to Raymond in assists among freshmen. Lindstrom goes back. Took a hit from John Hayden. Signed as an unrestricted free agent this past July. Suter, pass slowed down, went off Smith, comes to Fabry. Giovanni Smith back of the net. Up on the second line tonight, where he played some of the last game against St. Louis. Here's Suter with a shot at the goal post.
Inside.
Back it comes to the line. Stahl. Protecting the puck, Giovanni Smith. Support there from Fabry. Back for Smith. Trying to go back to Lindstrom. Didn't get there. The Sabres clear to center. 3:35 to go in the second period. Carter Rowney. In behind. Good cycle there for Gagne. Indirect pass found its way. Leddy, Hronek delays, gets it back from Zadina, the birthday boy. That's tipped in front of the net. Zadina able to kick it ahead, and the Sabres clear it, but it goes right on to Nedeljkovic, who plays it ahead for Hronek. Zadina reaching in for that puck.
I'd like to see Detroit shoot the puck a little bit more and just get bodies to the front of the net. One too many passes here the last 4 or 5 opportunities.
Colin Miller doesn't get out. Zadina, good work here. Zadina turns in front, taken away by Eakin, knocked down by Rasmussen. Good work by Rasmussen. Hronek has to hustle, and he got over. Oh, did he ever get smashed? And right away, Okposo knew. Okposo knew. He reached down saying, that was awkward. I did not mean to do that.
Well, it was an awkward situation because Hronek was scrambling to save the play, and he got on his toes and a Buffalo player right on his back. And then next thing you know, he goes head first into the board.
That hurts just watching it. But Okposo reacted right away. It was a shove, but off balance was Hronek.
All the weight ends up in the front part of his blades and the toes, and boom. Now, spotters upstairs will make the call on whether he has to go to the quiet room or not. It has nothing to do with the trainers or the coaches or the player himself. If they say he's got to go, he has no choice. So Van Zant's asking him, you okay? Do you feel okay? And then the communication might happen from upstairs.
Well, he's going to have 18 minutes in the room when this period expires. So the Red Wings are going to go to a power play. Bell Tire power play for Detroit. 2 minutes to Okposo. Chance to grab a lead by 2 here in period 2. Boarding the call. Mo Seider, Tyler Bertuzzi, across to Fabry. Seider able to knock it down, makes the play to Larkin. Now they can set up. Seider looks to Raymond. Bertuzzi. Raymond to Bertuzzi. In front is Fabry.
Larkin's on the far side, looming around.
Back to Seider. The shot wide. Oh, and out the other way. Bertuzzi couldn't bury that.
Open net for Bertuzzi.
Three Sabres on that puck, kept in here. Seider flips it across to Larkin. Top of the left circle, down low. Couldn't connect with Bertuzzi again. Back it comes for Raymond. Gets the return feed from Seider. The two rookies play catch. Raymond down low. Bertuzzi in front. Saved by Tokarski. Good stop by the Sabres netminder to relieve the pressure. The Sabres clear. 35 seconds remaining in this man advantage Detroit. Their second of the game. Ernie for Suter. Held by Tokarski. Boy, Tyler Bertuzzi in a bid for his 10th and his first in 9 games. Won't get a better chance than this.
He's in pretty tight, but that one he missed a wide open net. So one of those nights for number 59. They have a guy on him too, but nonetheless, Red Wings would love dearly to get a 2-goal lead. This game has been way too close for comfort.
A minute to go in the second. Already 14 minutes for Tyler tonight. Kept in by Leddy. They try to go cross rink for Zadina. Comes back to Hronek again. They take away the feed to Leddy. The former teammate of the guy who's in the box, Kyle Okposo, during their time on the island. Ernie, round to the other side for Hronek. For Nick Leddy. Saved by Tokarski, penalty over. Okposo out of the box. Intercepted by Eakin. 3 Sabres are up. Good play. Leddy to knock it down. 3 Red Wings come back. Ernie, Suter, played it to the corner. Side of the goal, Zadina. Looks to the line, Hronek. Gets it back to Zadina. Pulls it back, and a save, Tokarski, and he pulls it in to hold on.
Well, lots of chances, nothing of the grade A variety. I mean, that's a pretty easy stop for Tokarski to make right there. Got no screen in front of him. See it all the way unless it hits somebody. He made a nice stop, and corrals the rebound.
Six and 6/10. Larkin, Raymond, Bertuzzi. Leddy, Hronek. One chance, Leddy. Save made. And the period comes to a close. Coming up, it'll be our MGM Grand intermission report. Third period underway as Darlene stumbled and managed to get it off the glass and out the center, and right back in it goes to the Sabres zone. So Rowney and Suter, the goal scorers, to offset the 1-0 Sabres lead from Dylan Cousins. Cousins with a career high in goals in his short career. That'll be gloved by Nedeljkovic and held. So the scoring plays for Detroit: Rowney from Lindstrom and Gagne, Suter from Smith and Seider. So Mo Seider with .14 and assist number 12 to match the assist total of Lucas Raymond to lead all first-year players. Hronek. Flipped ahead by Raymond for Dylan Larkin. Leddy goes in deep. Checks Jokiharju. Cousins tipped it. Bertuzzi keeps it in. The Sabres will move it to center. Then Oposo gave it up to Bertuzzi. Bertuzzi couldn't get through himself, but kept on that puck. Buffalo now clears it. Back to get it, Hronek. For Dylan Larkin, Bertuzzi open. He finds him. Bertuzzi couldn't cut through. Stays with it though. Then he got checked, and Cousins is going to be a penalty coming up here.
Wow. And Bertuzzi thought he might have been going to the box for a moment himself.
Buffalo, number 33, 2 minutes.
Okay.
Colin Miller.
Everybody's shaking their heads on that one in a white jersey for sure, but nonetheless, a great opportunity for the Red Wings to pretty much put some breathing room between themselves and the Sabres.
While the Sabres in third periods, a 52-shot differential for the opposition, worst in the NHL in third periods. And remember, Buffalo played last night. Here's Zadina. So can the Red Wings wear on them here on the power play? Buffalo has not had a power play try in this game. Detroit on their third. The Red Wings didn't have a power play try in their 4-2 win over St. Louis. Here comes Hronek. Look back in front, but Leddy was covered. Zadina keeps it in. Hronek. That was deflected. And back down the ice it goes. Leddy for Zadina. For Suter. Suter had a goal and an assist against Buffalo. And the Red Wings overtime win in there. That was when Suter, who has the puck now, was playing on the top line in Dylan Larkin's absence. And he's got a goal against Buffalo here again tonight that's given the Red Wings the lead by 1. Ernie. And then moved by Suter out of the reach of Seider. Leaves it for Dylan Larkin. Into the Buffalo zone himself for Bertuzzi. Larkin gets it back from Raymond. Leaves it for Tyler Bertuzzi. Back in front, no one there. Larkin gets over to pick it up. Pete Girgensons to it. Across for Raymond, and the shot goes high. Seider clears it around. Raymond able to keep it in. Bertuzzi down low. Larkin miscued there with Raymond. Puck to the corner. Penalty about to expire, now it has. Out of the box comes Miller. Good effort there by Fabry to keep it in. Other side Raymond around behind to hit the referee's skate. Goes right to Bertuzzi. Drops it off for Seider. Couldn't make a play. Taken to the boards by John Hayden. Game into the middle and just out of the reach of Osterlier. Goes back to get it. Both teams in the midst of changing here with just over 3.5 gone in the third period. Red Wings 5-4-1 their past 10 games. Buffalo 3-9-1 their past 13. But a long stretch pass for Skinner. Up with Olofsson. Skinner in. Blocked. Good play, Osterley. Ahead Nemestikov for Rasmussen. Taken out by Dahlin. Yokoharu around for Olofsson. Checked by Gagne. And Stahl moves it. He missed the past 3 games with illness. Stahl ahead for Nemestikov. Game 500. Nice play there. Back for Gagne. Point to Stahl. Save made. Tokarski able to see that puck around Rasmussen.
We got a cat and mouse game going here in a 1-goal game. It kind of, Rasmussen was in front of him, kind of moved out and let Tokarski kind of see it. Designed it that way, but that's what he did. And he made the goaltender look it easy on that save.
Osterley in his 8th season, played 3 seasons, just 25 games with Edmonton, 55 with Chicago, and 3 seasons with Arizona. His first year as a Red Wing from Dearborn Heights. Eakin from center. Lindstrom took a stab at the puck, then Rowney behind the net. With a defensive play, able to get it ahead for Smith. To the line, kept in by Miller. Carter Rowney for Ernie. Sabres in their own zone. Lift a bouncer to center. Vinny Hinostroza. Dylan Cousins up along with Anders Bjork. Taken away by Giovanni Smith for Fabry. Good move to get away from Brett Murray. Fabry cutting right to the goal. Here's Leddy. Leddy turning with it. Looking for his first goal as a Red Wing. Got 7 assists. Hronek tipped by Zadina. Suter goes after it. Kyle Oposa with a couple of good moves to bring it to center. Got 1 more season to go and a long-term deal. Cleared away, but now out of harm's way. Suter, and a good back check coming. The defenseman Miller to sweep it away from Zadina. Buffalo will peel off for a change, all but Brett Murray. Now he will too. Larkin over the boards for Detroit. Has the puck now. Raymond goes right to Tokarski, who hangs on as the Red Wings hanging on to a 1-goal lead. And a 10-shot differential favors the home team. Make that 11 now. Beautiful holiday season upon us.
Well, Ken, you mentioned 3rd straight game for Nedeljkovic, and the saves that he's made right here is a big part of why that is what's going on. Remains to be seen who will play in Boston on Tuesday, but for the first time, the coaches go out of the rotation, and that was against St. Louis and O'Reilly and the gang on Wednesday night here pre-Thanksgiving, and what a show that kid put on the last 6-7 minutes, especially of the 3rd period.
Remember, he's still a rookie, still classifies. Into the slot for Bertuzzi, and a save by Tokarski. Lindstrom for Larkin, the shot, the save, and the rebound. Bertuzzi knocked down. Larkin's got it. Back to Stahl. Lindstrom toward the net, loose puck. Oh, Tokarski again. Larkin, side of the goal, right on the goal line. Not that he hasn't scored from there a few times. Anders Bjork gets it in. Nedeljkovic couldn't squeeze it. Girgensons has it. And Dahlin gets checked by Larkin, out of the reach of Bertuzzi. Anders Bjork for Mark Cusick. Played with Buffalo 125 games, 2012 to 2016. Forced outside the line was Rasmus Dahlin, 21-year-old who's already played over 200 NHL games.
You can see the kid's got a great brain for the game, boy.
You really have to give a defenseman that much time to really make a mark. Colin Miller, the defenseman, coming in. Skinner to the far side. Sider. Right back in by Buffalo. Both teams are changing, so Osterley takes the opportunity to clear it in. Robert Haig for the Sabres. Up to John Hayden. Hayden toward the net. Easy save by Nedeljkovic. The Black Friday BOGO ticket offer extended through Cyber Monday at midnight. Buy one ticket, get one ticket free. Buy one, get one free for all remaining home games. Score seats now at DetroitRedWings.com/BOGO. There are 24s on the draw. Dahlin able to keep it in at the line. Dahlin. Cousins. Oposo. Brett Murray for Buffalo. Then Cousins gets checked. Leddy for Detroit. For Pius Suter. Didn't get it out. Oposo kept it in. Murray battles there with Hronek. Now lets Cousins go to work, who gets checked by Suter. Suter patiently across for Hronek. Has some room on the right wing. Long slapper in. Tokarski will move that for Dahlin. Then he got checked. Rowney tried to center. Rowney had to come right back to him. Out there along with Rasmussen and Gagne. Rasmus Dahlin turns back in his own zone. 50 seconds from the halfway point here in period number 3. Big hit put on Girgensons by Stahl. Lindstrom for Fabry. For Stahl. Gets checked at center ice. Sabres with a chance. Asplund. Turning down low, Bryson. Fabry coming over. And he went down heavily. Dylan Larkin. Zadina plays one back. Lindstrom didn't handle it cleanly. Forces the Red Wings deeper. A little outlet play there for Larkin.
Yeah.
Out there is Bertuzzi. 8 shots tonight. A career high for him. 6 of those quality chances. Point shot knocked down. Bertuzzi to Larkin. Around an errant stick.
Yeah.
Bertuzzi on it. For Raymond. Looks back Osterley. Toward the net. Larkin with a attempted tip there. He's tired but hangs in. Larkin still battling. Looked exhausted a moment ago. Still makes the play to Osterley. Tipped in front of the net. Loose puck. Knocked out of the air by a calm Tokarski. Shot from Larkin. That went high and off the glass. Moving in his sider. In behind the net, Raymond Osterley. Shot goes wide. Skinner for Buffalo. Flipping one ahead for Olofsson. Back into the Red Wing zone. 8:45 to go in the third. Osterley waits. Leddy to his right. Leddy ahead for Rasmussen. Tip from his own side of center. No icing. Oh, that's going to be a mistake, and it's going to come to center ice. Because they had waved it off, I believe, or are they? Wow. What's the call here? It's got to come to center. The goaltender came out and played it. Yep. Should. It's going to come to center. Now a message from MGM Grand Detroit.
Go Grand at the destination that elevates every experience. Welcome back safely to MGM Grand Detroit.
And with that, without an icing call, it means we're in a commercial zone. So we'll step out. See you in 90 seconds.
Wings are up 2-1 with just over 8 minutes left in this one, and if they can hold on, it'll be their 7th home win of the year. And I asked Jeff Blashill earlier today why they've had so much success here at home. He says he loves the energy they play with here at home, but loves the energy and atmosphere created by the fans here. In fact, he encouraged fans who hadn't been here to get down here and see these guys play, because they play with reckless abandon and all kinds of energy here. The fans have a lot to do with the energy the team plays with. It's turning into a great home ice advantage for them, and the atmosphere is second to none. He's giving the fans credit for the energy and a couple of wins in the win column so far, guys.
We just added to the energy, I think, Mick.
I hope so. I hope so. It's been a quiet Saturday night per usual here at LCA.
They're still singing. We started 9 o'clock on a Saturday here with the fans.
It'll be over by 10.
Exactly. They're still going. They're loving it.
It's good. It's a place to come and have
Trevor
fun.
was speaking of. Sure.
Yeah.
Good job. Here's Suter. Suter hung with it for Fabry. Giovanni Smith, a broken stick. Now they're into the Let's Go Red Wings.
That's the late man.
Colleen control. Hayden for Buffalo. Taken wide by Hronek. Zadina tipped it, got enough on it, out to center ice. It's over 7 to go in the third.
Nice play up the middle.
Brownie stumbling. Still finishes check on Hayden. Gagne coming over. Hinostroza with a good play in for Eakin. And Nedeljkovic very calmly holds on to this. And when we were in commercial timeout, led by Mickey Redmond, I joined, but it's Mickey's voice everyone wanted to hear. And here's some of what they saw, and in unison to Billy Joel, the piano man. Oh, Mick, they're so happy to hear you sing.
They love that stuff, don't they, in this building? Huh?
Yeah. There we go.
Well, you made your debut as a singer. How about that?
My debut in the finale. Well, I've seen Billy Joel 10 times at least in my lifetime, so I should know the words to that.
It's a great place to come and have some fun, this little arena, I'll tell you that. Buffalo's done a pretty good job to take the fun out of it tonight with this crowd, but
we mentioned how Buffalo gives up a lot of shots. They gave up 47, a season high to Boston Wednesday. The Red Wings have 39 now. That missed the net. Red Wings will head to Boston on Tuesday. Head for Ernie. Colleen coming over. Here's Skinner. Shoots it in. Boston will be home to Vancouver Sunday before they meet Detroit. Taken away by Lindstrom. At this moment, Boston has 5 games in hand on the Red Wings, with a 4 by the time they meet them. Detroit 1 point up at the moment. That shot goes high. Nedeljkovic isn't sure where it is. Batted out of the air. Sabres able to keep control. Jokiharju took a shot. Oh, that hit the inside of the leg on Bertuzzi.
Well, this will be an icing, I think. Or will they call it? Oh,
yeah, they will.
Boy, that's a liberal one.
Now Bertuzzi was going off. They may let them make a change for Tyler. As he blocked that shot, he's at the bench, so they can change for Tyler, but not the rest. The Black Friday BOGO ticket offer extended through midnight, Cyber Monday. Buy 1 ticket, get 1 ticket free for all remaining home games. Score seats now at DetroitRedWings.com/BOGO. So that ticket offer has been extended through Cyber Monday at midnight. Oposo and Larkin, who won the draw. Defensive zone face-off win for Detroit.
Thinking the same thing, yeah.
Dahlin right back in. Nedeljkovic. Stall ahead. Larkin moved it. He'll go off in a change.
This is where your communication, if you're Detroit, is really critical. That'll be an offside. Yeah. But it's really critical in a 1-goal game inside your own blue line. You got to have everybody talking, starting with Mr. Ned, the goaltender, and that's the way to shut her down. We didn't shut her down here. We got the crowd going with that one. We'll be back. Wrap it up.
John Keating and Larry Murphy getting you ready for Red Wings Live postgame. This one's going to come down to the final seconds. It's nail-biting time.
Definitely. What I like about the Wings so far in this period is the fact that they actually are going out to try to get that 3rd goal. They're not laying back on their laurels. Hopefully in the last 5 minutes they play the same way. Don't get back on your heels. Don't let Buffalo take the game to you.
All the postgame reaction immediately after the final horn, hopefully with big smiles on a lot of Red Wing faces. Let's rejoin Ken Daniels and Mitch Miller as we send it back.
Mitch Miller. Oh my God.
I knew that would strike a chord.
Oh, deeper. There's nothing like a great song to get you feeling good for the heart. And this night that we're all thinking about fighting against cancer, a good smile, a good laugh, a good song can go a long way to help anybody, at least temporarily, feel a little bit better.
Skinner, such a good skater, couldn't get past Hronek though. Dahlin with a wrister. Nedeljkovic searching for it, hit a body. Defended, cleared by Leddy.
This is where, another thing too that you notice, Ken, is you got to depend on your teammates. You got to trust them. Do your job. Don't be puck watching. They just got caught 3 guys puck watching. Buffalo didn't take advantage of it. Do your job and hope and trust your partner to do his job.
Nedeljkovic. Brownie going after it. Jacob Bryson got back to defend. Suter couldn't control it. And Nostroza for Eakin. From center and in. Osterley goes back. Checked by Bjork. Controlled and settled by Seider. 3:45 to go in the 3rd. Fabry. Knocked down by Miller. Bryson ran out of real estate. Raymond checked him. Bertuzzi comes on for Fabry. Oposo for Buffalo deep in front off a skate of Cousins. Larkin. Ahead it goes for Bertuzzi. With Raymond they cross hit center. Bertuzzi speeding up. Larkin. Check but kept it alive. Now Oposo, then Bertuzzi. Flailing away at it, kept it in for a moment.
A lot of that tonight. That's
over Cousins' stick. Yes, it will be an icing.
Well, Detroit will take that one. The Sabres with that long stretch pass. They're trying everything they can here. 39-26 shots on goal, Detroit.
Leddy comes out with Hronek. Leddy 2 games shy of 800. Gagne, Namestnikov, Rasmussen. Another icing.
Take your time. Nice river skate back to get it. 2 seconds here or there, that'll never hurt. Sabres will be looking to get their goaltender out of here shortly. If they don't tie it up before.
Red Wings have done a good job tonight in the offensive zone on faceoffs and in the defensive zone. 60% in their own zone on faceoffs. Just what we were talking about earlier, and they've been very good tonight. Namestnikov to the goal!
Wow.
Didn't get through. Tokarski was down, and Rasmussen right at the lip of the crease. Couldn't bury it. Skinner's got it for Buffalo. Skinner knocked down. Just over 2 to go. Dahlin to Jokiharju. Back for Rasmus Dahlin. Nedeljkovic to hold on, and Buffalo could be pulling their netminder.
Yep.
Tokarski was out a little bit. 1:52 to go. Dahlin approaching 23 minutes tonight.
Not sure why they wouldn't right now do it with the deep zone face-off. Yeah, they got to pull him out of there. You know, halfway means nothing, because if you win the draw, you still have to get a goaltender out on the bench and a player into the play. So you might as well have him out of there and get the player in the play for the draw.
And Buffalo's called timeout. Join us again Tuesday. The Wings, Bruins from Boston, 6:30. Red Wings live, Wings and Bruins, Bally Sports Detroit and the Bally Sports app. Again, Boston home to Vancouver on Sunday. The Bruins right now will have played 5 fewer games than the Red Wings. Play game 22 tonight.
Well, going to Boston, there's the guy that's going to probably be right in the middle of everything all night long, number 59, and he's been there tonight too. Lots of chances. Tokarski's been equal to all of that stuff, but Larkin, Bertuzzi, and let's crash the board. And Lucas Raymond have been solid tonight offensively.
Didn't drop that one fairly. Empty net at the other end. And I know Alex Nedeljkovic, he'd love to get a goal in his career. He wants to be like Chris Osgood.
Well,
but
sure
he'd like to do that with a 2-goal lead.
He shoots the puck well enough, I'll
sure
tell you.
does.
Look out
now
for
this
guy.
Sabres control. Shot got blocked.
Oh,
knocked away by Nedeljkovic to the corner.
Thompson too.
Dahlin with a shot blocked in front. Eakin came up with it again, gets it again. A shot, they score! Tipped in front, Skinner.
Well, there you go. It's exactly what everybody was afraid of here with a 1-goal game. Boy, oh boy. Minute 37, goalie on the bench. They get control, Skinner in the tip. 0 chance on your goalie. We got a tie game. Just enough to get it up and in. A couple of bouncing pucks. Sabres got control of them and took advantage to tie this game. No challenge going on, and we got a minute 37 to possible overtime here. Boy.
6 goals, 2 2-goal games. He gets the tying goal here at 18:23.
That's a line mix up by Blashill right here. He's got Raymond on the ice without Bertuzzi and Larkin.
Raymond's got it with Suter and Fabry. Fabry. He gets knocked down. Sabres, Asplund. Turning at center is Suter for Leddy. Leddy into the Buffalo zone. To the line, Leddy able to keep it in for Hronek. Toward the net, out of the reach of Raymond. Lifted out to center, knocked away from Bjork. Fabry. Coming in is Rasmussen, forced wide by Jokiharju. Rasmussen off a skate. To the far side goes Jacob Bryson. Tipped it ahead. Buffalo's got it at center ice. Brett Murray. The rookie dumps it in. Osterley gets checked by Cousins. Tense time here with 10 seconds to go. Namestnikov. Forced wide enough by Pesek. 2 seconds left. We're going overtime.
Boy.
Huge point for Buffalo. And Red Wings now tense time. They do get one. So in a 2-2 tie, someone's going to win this game 3-2. We go to 3-on-3 because Jeff Skinner tied it up with 1:37 left. First career goal in Buffalo. Moritz Seider. Red Wings came back from 3-1 down. Bertuzzi tied it with about 6 to go. Then Seider won it in overtime.
Well, with 40 shots on goal tonight and plenty of scoring chances, they shouldn't be in overtime, the Red Wings tonight. Tokarski's been really good, but Detroit has not been as sharp as they need to be with all those chances.
And Buffalo played last night at home and beat Montreal. So 53, Mo Seider scored in Buffalo to win it in overtime. Number 53, Jeff Skinner, tied it late in this game to send it to overtime. Tage Thompson against Dylan Larkin. Rasmussen goes right off. And on comes Raymond.
This is where you want to catch somebody that's got, like Larkin, when he's on the fly. He's got the good speed, and he can beat people with that speed.
Leaves it there for Raymond. Takes a shot, scores! Lucas Raymond! Red Wings win it 3-2!
26 seconds in.
Well, one Rookie of the Year candidate won it in Buffalo over the Sabres. Another one wins it tonight in Detroit over the Sabres.
All the great saves that Tokarski made. Does this hit somebody? It goes through him, and he's got to be wondering what just happened. Now, what I know looks like happened is Lucas Raymond used the defenseman as a screen and shot the puck right next to his leg. Did it hit him? I don't know. But it blew right through the goaltender. It could have hit the shaft of the stick. It doesn't take much. The bottom line is, it's in the net and the game's over.
Raymond from Larkin and Hronek, 26 seconds in.
It did not, Ken. That replay right there shows it went underneath the shaft of the stick. The goaltender, all the great saves he made, and this one blows right through him. Red Wings win again in overtime.
And franchise win 2,999 for this great original 6 franchise. John and Larry.
What a night in downtown Detroit, Kenny. We'll have all the post-game reaction from this one Downstairs, you'll hear from Lucas Raymond, who ended this one in rather quick fashion in overtime. The rookies continue to lead the way. The Wings with back-to-back wins, and Nedeljkovic strong in goal for the Red Wings. Red Wings Live starts next.